Not much left in the garden anymore. It's getting cleaned up now, and today we're going to pick the beets. You can see some of these beds. I've gotten them all cleaned out and ready to go for next year. I got the tomatoes out there, and you can see those beds are in pretty good shape now, and I still have a little more cleaning up, but we've been getting a lot of rain. Yesterday we got another inch and a half, or actually the day before we got another inch and a half of rain. It's really been unbelievable, and about the last thing I have to deal with is probably another 50-60 pounds of red peppers. There are just so many out there now, and really don't know what I'm going to do with them, but I'll figure something out. Yeah, you can see it's a real nice fall day out. Nice, cool, windy, breezy day, so it's enjoyable. No bugs or anything like that. So we've been eating beets out of this bed all summer long, and these are the ones that are left at the end of the season, and figured it's time to pull them out and do something with them. So this year I decided to try dehydrating them. So I'm just going to get them all out and see what I've got left. You can see some of them are really massive. I think all the rain this year did a good job at making everything a little bit bigger. So I did, I did have a pretty good bin of them. Probably got about 25-30 pounds of them. And then just take that spork and go back and clean up the bed. That works really good for cleaning up and picking things out and getting grasses and stuff out of the beds. And next one's got to come out is a Swiss chard. Still got some beautiful Swiss chard on there though we have to eat, but you can only eat so much of this stuff. It's been growing like crazy this year. So there it is. I grabbed a couple more gourds for up by the house, and you can get an idea of the size of some of those beets there. They're really nice. So inside, my wife is baking a pear and apple gelette, I guess they call it. So I'm going to go outside, get out of her way, and wash up some beets. And see, I got all the leaves trimmed off them now. You can get a better idea of what I actually had left in that bin. And you can see I've got another loaner car. They've still got my truck, and they sold the loaner that I had, so they sent out a brand new Silverado there that's similar to my truck, but it's just not the same. So hopefully they'll finish up fixing that this week. And it's time to clean these things up. I'm trying to get them as clean as I can. I'm going to leave as much skin on them as I can when I dehydrate, I figure. And a little vegetable brush here really does help. So, there they are, all ready to be cleaned up and sliced up. Okay, for this job, we're going to put some rubber gloves on here. Don't want red hands for the next week. Now, these beets are actually in a little bit worse shape than I thought they were going to be in, so I'm going to have to peel some of them. Some areas. Let me try to just get any bad spots off of them. Looks like they wouldn't be good for dehydrating. And let's chop that top. Now, from what I understand, you're supposed to cut them somewhere between 1/4 of an inch and 1/8 of an inch. I was going to try my mandolin, but it usually doesn't do that good with things this hard, so I'm going to cut them by hand now. Well, they are crispy. Let's see. Beautiful on the inside. Definitely going to take a while though. Never tried this before, so we'll see how they come out. Can't be bad though, I don't think. Beets are one of my favorite vegetables. So there we go, got the first one. And put that in there. Now let's start on the other half of it. They may not be pretty looking by the time I get done hacking them up, but as long as they're good. Tell you what, beets are tough to cut when they're like this. Fresh picked and crispy. That's the first one done. Let me move on and do the others, and then I'll turn the camera back on here. And you can see I'm going to be putting that crazy salt on using the shaker. Yep, they're going right along now. There is a little more trimming. You can see I got some bad spots on the skin that I don't want to leave into them. And yes, I have a razor sharp knife that I'm cutting towards myself with into my thumb, and that's the way I do it. That's the way I was taught to do it, and that's what I do. So it's just a matter of, cleaning them up where they've got some nasty stuff on the skin, and the rest I'm leaving on, and slicing. I got a pretty good bowl of them ready. We'll start stacking the trays soon. And then I've got a container here cut full, and I'm going to start loading up these trays on the dehydrator. Just kind of get as many as I can on there. You have to leave a area at the edge because of the guides they go in on. Not quite sure how much each tray will hold, but try to get them pretty full, but yet you need air circulation between the beets also. I did get them cut between, I'd say between 1/8 and 1/4 like they recommend, so some are a little thicker and some are a little thinner. But I was afraid to try and use the mandolin because these are just so hard. I didn't want to fight with that and have them split. So my dehydrator holds 12 racks full, so it's probably going to be that whole bowl by the time I'm done. Hopefully these are good and I didn't just waste my whole harvest. I think they will be though. And then again, like I do on all my dehydrated foods, I put crazy salt on them, and I did put this grinder, do a video about this grinder. I'll put it down in the links, but this is definitely the way to get it spread nice and even on whatever you're dehydrating. You can see it does a really super even job. You do waste a lot when you're trying to do it, but can't really help that. Stuff, oh, this is when they really start smelling good. Oops, I got double. Nice even coating on them all. That's it. I'm ready to go in the dehydrator. This is what I'm talking about with the crazy salt. I use a ton of this stuff, and I buy these big 9.5 ounces on multi-packs. I'm on Amazon because it's hard to find it in local stores anymore. Judge the amount that I need to fill the dehydrator, and now it's time to get into some of these monsters. Oh my god. Ain't too pretty looking, but don't look bad. A little bit of trimming here and there to clean them up. Yeah, the whole first bowl's in the dehydrator, only filled up 7 shelves. I got 5 more to fill up. It doesn't pay to run it half empty. Let's see, that doesn't look too bad. Oops, a little bit there. Oh, these slices will fill it up quick. Wow. Oh, that's beautiful. Alright, let me chop up some of these, get the dehydrator filled. So here we are, a little while later. I got everything cut up. Dehydrator is loaded with 12 racks full of sliced beets with crazy salt on them, and we'll see how they come out. Now I'm just gonna turn this thing on. I said at 145. Let's start with 12 hours. And close the door over. There we go. So I didn't make too much of a mess this time to clean up. You can see there's what's left. And my wife's Gillette there, oh, that came out so good. Just the fresh pears and apples. Oh my God, it was really great. And here we are, 11 and a half hours later. That's how long I left them in, and they started to look about done. And you can see there's really not much at all left of those beets. Those trays were packed full, and I put them in there. And stuff really, has shrunk down, and not much left there. But they look like they're done, ready to take off. And I'm just gonna put them in some bags and let them sit overnight before I pack them away. So, the better look is just, looks like just a couple little pieces left when you're done after those, having those big full trays. But they did dry really nice, and they didn't really stick to the trays or anything. Some of them did fall through, but, they did come out nice. And there's a better look at another tray. You can see how much they shrunk down. Really did shrink. Yeah, I put them in those bags overnight until the next morning. Actually, I wound up moving them to one bigger bag. And by this time, it's just getting to be about midnight now. You can see it's like 10 to 12 now. I'm finishing up. So it does make it a long day when you dehydrate stuff like this. So here we are the next morning, and they're all ready to put in the jars now. I have to tell you, I tried one of them, and I don't think they're going to be good to eat. At least I didn't really enjoy it. If you cook up a beet and eat it, figure taking the flavor in that beet and multiplying it times 100, and that's what these taste like. They're just like a super beet. Unbelievable. They are good, but they're just a little bit overwhelming. So I'm going to put them in these jars for now, and then probably grind them up and use them for seasoning. They'd really be good in dips, or they'd be good in soups, or, a little bit of anything. And there you can see they did dry up nice. Little bit rubbery. They're not real super crisp like the zucchinis and stuff come out. But they did, they did come out nice, and they are a real sweet beet too. But they just are, like I said, a little bit too overwhelming to try to eat like this. You have to put them in something else, I think. But anyhow, there's what I got out of it. I started with over 20 pounds, and that's what I got. And here's one of those sweet potatoes after another 10 days of a cold cure. We're going to roast this thing up. But you can see it's got a really nice thick skin on it now. And these things are just so good. We've probably eaten about 10 pounds of them already. We've been really enjoying them. So now I'm going to vacuum seal these in the jars. And, once you seal them in the jar, they're good for at least a year. I put them down in the dark root cellar. They stay good. And take out what you want, grind it up, and then put them, vacuum seal them again. And this little food saver is still working good. It does take quite a while though to vacuum down these large jars like this. These are half-gallon jars I'm using now, so you can see that's the real time of how long it takes. But that little, I've really enjoyed those little accessories for the food saver there that, you know, allow you to vacuum pack the jars. They do really keep the dehydrated stuff crispy, dry, and make it last a lot longer. So there it is, one down and one more to finish up. That's, you know, I just wanted to share this with you. That's what I tried doing with some of my beets this year, and definitely they are good, but they're a little bit too good, and I've got to figure out how to use them, how to grind them up and mix them in other things. And I did save some of those really big beets. They're down in the beer refrigerator now, but what we're going to do is we're going to cube them up, and we're going to roast them with the root vegetables, with the sweet potatoes and the garlic and the onions and stuff like that, which really should be really good. So that's all I got out of about over 20 pounds of beets, 2 little jars. Anyhow, I just thought I'd share this and, you know, show you that the harvest is almost done this year and getting time to move on to other things pretty soon. Hope everybody else is having a great harvest also. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe.